Yeah, a special day for American golf.
He clenches his fist as the ball disappears into the hole. The United States are guaranteed to get to 14.5 points. That is the magic number.
Yes, Team USA well and truly exceeded that magic number, beating Europe by a competition record of 19 points to 9 in the Ryder Cup. Earlier I spoke to North American golf expert Lucas Weiss and asked him why the Americans were so dominant in Wisconsin.
Listen, it's been brewing for quite some time. I mean, I know that Team USA obviously lost to Team Europe 3 years ago, but this momentum towards a younger team, a team that, is moving away from guys like Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson was certainly becoming more inevitable. And during this year's Ryder Cup, I mean, Captain Steve Stricker of the U.S. made the conscious decision of really focusing on the youth. I mean, the average age of the Team USA Ryder Cup team was only 29. So a lot of younger guys compared to Team Europe. And these guys are horses, as we say over here in North America. I mean, just the way that they're high in the official world golf rankings, a lot of them, like Colin Morikawa, two-time major champion at just 24 years old. There's a lot of hardware there already, and I just think a lot of these guys were just hungry to try to avenge not only 3 years ago in Paris, but to build a sustainable model of successful Team USA teams for the future. And I think they did that this week in the United States.
Yeah, it was a really incredible performance, pretty dominant performance. I mean, these guys that you're talking about, the likes of Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau, these two, there's been this rivalry and this feud between them, but they were able to put that aside, even embracing at the end there. That was really important to helping them get a victory.
Oh, no doubt. In USA Ryder Cup teams in the past, I mean, obviously Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson were big names, but they sort of sucked the energy out of the room just because of what they did throughout the PGA Tour seasons when they were playing on Ryder Cup teams. And they were just these big personalities and maybe not necessarily the biggest team players, if you will. And I think that's always sort of handicapped the U.S. But this week, all of these players were just focused on one common goal, which was to win the Ryder Cup on home soil. And you mentioned Brooks, Koepka, and Bryson DeChambeau. I mean, that's the perfect example where those two guys, I mean, they were hugging each other at the end. I mean, it just shows you the power of the Ryder Cup and its ability to bring people together. And that's what it did this week for Team USA.
Let's look at Team Europe. Obviously not a very good weekend for them. Let's hear from a really emotional Rory McIlroy.
I love my teammates so much, and I should have done more for them this week. I'm glad I put a point on the board for Europe today, but, I just can't wait to get another shot at this.
Yeah, really emotional Rory McIlroy there. What went wrong for Europe?
Well, I think, Isaac, the large part, Team USA was just too dominant. You could have had, Seve Ballesteros come back from the dead. You could have had Graham McDowell play on this Team Europe team. I just don't think they would have beaten this edition of Team USA. Now, I think with Team Europe, it's also experiencing a bit of a changing of the guard in that a lot of their older players, like Lee Westwood, like Sergio Garcia, like Ian Poulter, they may not be coming back to playing on Ryder Cups anymore. I mean, they've been sort of the anchors, if you will, of Team Europe over the years. And now Team Europe's in a position where these older guys are moving on. Who are sort of the younger guys about to take their place? I mean, we've seen John Rahm. He's the world number one. He had a great week this week. Victor Hovland's another young player, but they're going to need to find some names to try to sort of at least match Team USA just in terms of the power and the strength and their abilities. But I think with Team Europe, what really struck me, Isaac, was in their post-Ryder Cup press conference, just how heartbroken they were. And Rory McIlroy was just so genuine in that post-Ryder Cup interview with the emotions flowing. Now, it just shows you how much the Ryder Cup means to these guys. And I think watching Team USA celebrate on the green, I don't care who you throw out there for Team Europe, I think they're going to be motivated when the Ryder Cup is next staged in Rome.